All right, so Tuesday, I was looking at this setup right here. Now, a lot of people was a little bit scared because this was counter trend for one. We just get in the groove of taking 5 minute plus 1 minute setup, so a lot of people are confused. But what you really want to understand is when you're trading off of the 1 minute chart with forex pairs, you really, really want to be careful. Now, I say that because the 1 minute can give you such a tight stop loss that spreads can literally knock you out. So you really have to be careful on where you put your stop loss at, and does your stop loss give yourself enough room for it to literally move around before going in favor? So like we're gonna be going over stop loss placement for the 1 minute entries too, because you don't want to always just put it below the zone, and you don't want to always just put it underneath a candle or above the candle. It just really depends on where they give you the break of the candle. Okay, so right here, we took this GU 5 minute supply. If you go to the 1 minute, you can clearly see that this is also a 1 minute supply as well. Now, as I'm looking at the first break of the candle, because I sent this out a little bit before 7:30, it already broke the candle right here. And in my head, I'm like, man, this is a super, super tight stop loss. Like if I enter off the break of the candle, let me take this off. If I enter off the break of the candle, and we're talking about a forex pair. We're not even talking about anything else. We're talking about GU. And I put my stop loss right here. That's a 1 pip stop loss. The chances of that actually working out is very slim, just because like the market's not going to always just randomly, give you the best entry. So my advice is when you're trading 5 minute plus 1 minute, please give your stop loss some breathing room. How big is your stop loss at the top of the zone? How big is your stop loss at the break of the candle? Like you got to really evaluate, okay, what are they giving you at the break of the candle? Because you just don't want to just have a tight stop loss and then you lose and win. Like the whole purpose of going on the 1 minute is to get a tighter, well, not a tighter, but a more precise entry. It's not so much to have a tighter stop loss. We want to get in a little bit earlier. That's why we're looking at the 1 minute. It's not just okay, tighter stop loss, because that can be bad too. So when it gave the break of the candle, I'm like, no, this just doesn't make sense. Like 1 pip, absolutely not. So I'm like, okay, how big is the zone from the break of the candle? Only two, almost 2.5 pips. You might as well just say 3 pips. Like you might as well just say three. Now this is still a super tight stop loss, and I use fixed lot sizes. So I'm just like, okay, this is 3 pips. I'm willing to lose 3 pips. Like, okay, what is that? And like I said, I usually go for a 1 and 2 on these 5 minute plus 1 minute setups. And it played around a little bit before it started to drop. I definitely was iffy on this right there. When it got to this point right here, when it got to this point, I'm gonna be honest, man. Your boy almost pulled the trade because I'm just like, oh, I don't really like this. Like this is looking pretty bad. But when I drop this live trading video, y'all gonna literally see like certain price closing and like certain counter formations on the 1 minute where you literally have to ignore it. Like on a 1 minute chart, when you're in a trade, you literally have to just let it just play out and do what it do, because it's always gonna be false price action on a 1 minute. The 1 minute is so noisy, you can see a bullish engulf and then it go the other way, or then it spike the other way. Like you have to be super firm on your direction on the 1 minute chart, or you will just be afraid and just get out of the trade. So at this point, I'm already like, bro, I got 3 pip stop loss. My first take profit is around 6 pips. And I'm looking at the 5 minute as well. I'm like, okay, we also have a 5 minute demand sitting at the bottom. So that kind of makes sense to sell. And I understand that the 5 minute is counter trending. So I shouldn't hold this trade for too long because I mean, look at the EMAs. We're still going towards the 200. So I went back on the 5 minute, I mean the 1 minute, and I just let it just play out. I'm like, okay, we got this demand zone right here. Now, like I said on last week webinar, I'm like, if they break 1 minute demand zones, we should hold. Okay. So I'm looking at this as I'm into the trade. I'm like, okay, if I'm in this set right here, if they hold at this demand zone, this might be a L, or I need to just cut the trade and take what the market's going to give me. So if I fast forward, can it get to the zone? They gave a little fake break of the candle, but we still have the 5 minute going in the same direction as the 1 minute. And I don't want people to get confused because I'm seeing people taking just 1 minute setups. Like I'm literally not taking 1 minute setups. I'm taking 5 minute and 1 minute. It's not 1 minute alone. So this is not good to take a buy right there. That doesn't make sense at all. If that's not a 5 minute demand zone, you shouldn't be on a 1 minute trying to enter in. It just no, bro. You won't get faked out. So as soon as this zone got broken, I was looking to take it to that demand. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, okay, this just make a good area to get out at. And it didn't even get that. It got a little bit close to it, and I waited for it to at least reach it. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna close up in this area because we're starting to have bullish candles. So I ended up closing up in this area where the 200 EMA is at on the 1 minute. And that was pretty much it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't really looking for too much for this trade. I already had a tight stop loss. I wanted it to touch the 5 minute demand. It just never did. And that was pretty much it for Tuesday. Now, do anybody have any questions? 'Cause a lot of people was like, bro, why were you like this? This just didn't make sense. Do anybody have questions on this setup right here? Okay. Do anybody have questions on this GU setup that we took Tuesday? No questions? Okay. All right, let's go to Thursday. So this was Tuesday. Remember, Monday was President's Day, so I didn't place any trades. And let's go about Thursday. Okay, now Thursday was a very, very interesting day. I don't even know if anybody took profit on NAS on Thursday. I didn't. I was aiming for a 1 and 2, just like GU on Tuesday. And let's just break down this trade. So this is a 5 minute demand setup, like we always take. I scale down to the 1 minute. And when I scale down to the 1 minute, I'm like, okay, gotta have a gap right here. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about stop loss placements. Now, on this specific trade, I got in on the break of the candle, but I put my stop loss underneath the zone. Now, why did I do that? I did that because, for one, if they come back into the zone, I have time to cut this loss. Okay. I feel like if I would have put my stop loss right here, yeah, I would have had a tighter stop loss. But I was looking at the 5 minute. And I'm like, bro, at any moment, this could potentially just be a reversal. And this is just filling some gaps right there. So I wanted to be careful on where I put my stop loss at, just because I don't want to hug the stop loss up in this area and New York session just is about to open. This could potentially be a whole new reversal. Remember, when we go to a whole new session, they do not have to continue the trend from London session. They do not have to do that. Usually they're going to do a reversal. So I'm expecting for me to at least reach my 1 and 2 before 8:30 news, but it was over with. So I don't know if anybody stick through this whole trade. This was a break-even trade for me. I sat through all of this. I'm gonna be honest. I sat through this entire thing, and when we got to this area, I was pretty confident that we was gonna get the 1 and 2. Let me slide this back down. Oh, I must have got in late, probably because of spreads, because my 1 and 2 did not get hit at all. So I had my target a little bit up here. I don't know. Yeah, I had to get in a little bit later because my target did not get hit. So yeah, it had to be spreads because my target was way higher. Like this area right here did not reach my take profit at all, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It did not reach my take profit. It was your stop loss. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. My fault. It was my stop loss. I did have it down here. So I had my stop loss just like that. And spreads on forex pairs is a little bit garbage. And I was going for 1 and 2. And it got close to it, but it never did. Got out up in this area right there. And I'm like, you know what? This is probably not going to work out. And then it does this at news. Like, we got to stop trading news unless you're actually experienced with trading news. I avoid news at all costs. Like, it's just unpredictable in a way. Like, yes, we can see where the gaps is at, but nobody expected NAS 100 to continue up after this point. I'm going to be honest. Once news came out on Thursday, yesterday, I'm expecting for it to drop and fill in some gaps because it's been so bullish. What do it do? Just drops a little bit and then start going back up for the rest of the day. Like, I didn't expect that at all. I don't think anybody expected it to just continue up. I'm expecting to at least pull back a little bit more before going up, but no, it just kept going up. So that was a break-even trade for me on Thursday. Now let's talk about this trade too, because I was very tempted to take this NAS 100 trade yesterday, but I always say this for people that actually sat through the webinars. After 10:30 a.m. EST, volume is taken out of the market, or around 11 o'clock, volume is taken out of the market. So you have to be careful because they done gave out so many points, so many pips. You have to be careful. So because I was looking at this trade right here on US 30 yesterday, and I'm like, bro, should I take it? Let's look at the time. 10:40. I woke up at 7:30 and I'm taking subs at 10:40. Like, absolutely not. Like, for this, if this even holds, I would be shocked. I'll be actually like, wow, this is crazy, because I already know for a fact I lose the majority of my setups after 10:30. So this right here was a super high setup. Everything lined up, and I believe this was a 1 minute as well. But it's just the timing that it reached. So let's fast forward to actually reach. It tapped the 1 minute at 10:45. We don't really like taking setups this late. I'm gonna be honest. So I wasn't really thinking about this setup at all. It was just interesting how this trade lost right after it was past 10:30. So I just found that just so interesting. So yeah, so Nas trade was break even, and I wasn't taking no trade after 10:30. That was pretty much it. Now let's talk about today. Let's talk about today. US 30 was the star of the show today. Um, After this webinar, y'all gonna see the whole live trading video of where I got in at, sitting through this point, because this was an actual crucial time to get into the well, to hold this trade up in that area. Definitely almost closed, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, I just stick that out through. Now, how I managed this trade was a little bit differently. I did close partials once we got up in this area. Once we broke above this area, I closed partials, and then I had a one position running, and then I let it hit for 1 and 2. Y'all gonna see that as well. But let's talk about this trade. Now, this was just a simple 5-minute demand setup. Okay, this did line up with the New York Stock Exchange open. We do know that they sometimes like to explode past the open or hold at zones. Now, when I saw that they held at the zone, I'm like, okay, let me go to the 1 minute, and then the 1 minute creates a bullish reversal candle. These two candles, that's a reversal candle pattern. So I'm like, okay, this is actually good. And we're still inside of the zone. I can see the gap directly in front of the zone right there. That's the 1 minute gap inside of the 5 minute. So everything just lined up, and this trade was absolutely amazing. I don't know if anybody held it or held it longer. This was just a good trade. Like everything lined up. The 5 minute. Let me turn the EMAs on real quick. Let me go to right here. I'm gonna close all this out because we about to answer some questions. So I'm gonna just close all this out. I'm gonna go right here. But yeah, today was actually like it was crazy. Back here, go right here. Okay. So this right here, like we're gonna be taking this all year. I'm gonna be honest. This trade right here, we're gonna be taking this all year. This is nothing new than what we already been doing. We just been looking at it in a more deeper scale. So like all we're really doing, because I think people are thinking that we have a brand new strategy. This is not a brand new strategy. All we're really doing is looking at our 5 minute demand zones, supply zones, like we already been doing. And then we're just scaling down to the 1 minute to see what is the price action. So how I was confident in this trade was that we was making higher lows. Like I'm just looking at structure. Okay, we made a higher low right here, made another higher low. We're breaking highs. I am confident in taking this trade. Does the 5 minute have a break of structure? Yes, it do. Yes, it do. If you look at this 5 minute demand zone and then put a horizontal line right there, it broke structure. Okay, the demand zone started before it broke structure. So this had a break of structure right here. Um, and also let me go back to Thursday trade on that loss, because I'm telling you the 1 minute is actually like pretty good. It's actually pretty good, and it can help you to get out of a trade that actually lost. So let me just go to this real quick before we start answering questions. So say if you did take this trade, say if you did take this trade and you feel me, you did everything right, you line it up, but you have to pay attention. Remember, if we are touching supply zones and they are holding on the 1 minute chart, most likely you are about to lose. So look at this right here. This is a 1 minute supply zone. If you took this buy right here on the 1 minute, you need to be paying attention to this zone right there. Because if they break the zone, you need to hold the trade. If they don't break the zone, just like we said last week, this is probably going to be a losing trade. So if you took this trade, you need to be watching it on the 1 minute chart so you can see if they are holding these 1 minute supply zones. And you can clearly see that that zone held. So you should have been cutting this loss somewhere up in here. You need to be cutting this loss. So this is going to be an extremely small loss and then go about your day, because clearly they held. Now imagine if you would have took that sale right there. If you would have took that sale right there, you possibly could have got your money back. But I'm not saying to do that, because I know somebody gonna try to like take the 1 minute supply or take the 1 minute demand that's going in opposite of the 5 minute. But I'm not doing that. I'm just using this to guide me to see if the trade is actually going to work out. So yeah, I just want to just point that out because I saw that it lost. I'm like, okay, what would have gave me a sign to get out of this trade? Oh, this 1 minute supply right there. Like it's literally right there. It have a break of structure right there off that 1 minute supply. So once you see this, you need to be very careful of making a decision at this point right there. But yeah, that's all I had, man. So went 2-1 this week. GU on Tuesday. NAS break even on yesterday, and today US 30 actually was the start of the show. And they all my setups that I took was 5 minute plus 1 minute setups. They went, both of them went past 1 and 2, by the way. Let me put myself so y'all can see me. Um, the trades that hit all went past 1 to 2. The trade that didn't hit, I mean, it's because my stop loss was kind of wide, but it's still cool. Like I still have way bigger wins than my losses. So I want people to understand, like the 1 minute is actually turning the whole strategy up. I don't know if people understand this, but like the 1 minute is actually like the RRs are way better. Like, but the only hard part about the 1 minute is sitting through it. That's I'm gonna just say that. Like sitting through the 1 minute is like really tough. But if you can sit through the 1 minute, you can like your RRs can be crazy. I know y'all saw GJ today. Before I can start answering questions, I know y'all saw GJ today with that 1 minute and that 5 minute supply that it was literally just cooking all day. It's crazy. But all right, man, let's get into it because I want to make sure people get their question answered. So I'm going to take this off and get somebody on. But yeah, man, this week is pretty good. Let's get this person on. Got Nathan right here.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my first question is if the last three bearish candles don't have a gap on the 1 minute, but the fourth one do, will you take the break of structure of that, or would you feel like you're forcing the setup at that point?
So the 5 minute plus 1 minute setups, it have to tap the lowest part of the demand or the highest part of the supply. Wherever that gap is at, I don't want any gaps left inside of my zone. So, like for instance, the NAS 100 trade that we took today, that zone that we took today on, I mean not NAS 100, US 30. That zone that we took today on US 30, if you look at it, it was a 5 minute demand zone without a doubt. That is the candle. But if you go inside of the candle, there wasn't any more gaps inside of the candle. It's completely filled. So that's what I want it to look like. If let me go to the 1 minute. That's what I want it to look like. Look in this area, zero gaps, zero gaps at all. The only gap that was left was right there. And what do? They filled it in with that. I want my zones. If I'm taking it off of the 1 minute because I need the five
Um,
minutes to be in confluence, I want zero gaps. The whole thing has to be filled. I don't want to see a small gap that's directly up underneath the 1 minute. Like, absolutely not. Like and this is another thing because people are getting confused.
I
The
said
five,
basic.
I just gotta say this real quick. If the 5 minute isn't invalid until the bottom of the zone is tapped. That still applies to the 1 minute. The 1 minute, it doesn't matter. We're still trying to just spot the gap on the 1 minute. It's not invalid until the 5 minute is invalid. Hope that makes sense. But go ahead.
Yeah, basically, I said the last three bearish candles don't have a gap, but the fourth one do. I kind of think you misunderstood me on that.
I'm saying if you are, because I know the 1 minute can have multiple candles that have gaps. We're going for the deepest one. The deepest one. So say if it was a gap right here at the bottom, but it only came like halfway. Like say if this was a demand zone. Hypothetically, this was a high probability demand zone. But they only tapped this one, but they didn't tap this line. I'm not getting in. I'm not getting in on the 1 minute. I would get in on the 5 minute, but not the 1 minute though. Like so, like because you're gonna see certain scenarios where there are gonna be multiple zones on the 1 minute chart, and they may not tap this 1 minute demand zone, but they tap the higher 1 minute. I'm still not getting off the 1 minute. I need everything to be filled inside of my zone because it's a 5 minute zone, so I want everything to get filled. And if it don't fill in on the 1 minute, then I'm looking at the 5 minutes enter, just like we already been doing. I hope that's making sense.
Yeah, it's making a little bit more sense. And my second question is, do you risk half of what you used to on NAS on US 30? So if you used to use 10 lots on NAS, will you use 5 lots on US 30? Or how much lower is your risk on US 30 compared to NAS?
I'm definitely risking half for sure. US 30 is way more volatile than NAS. So I definitely like when I'm choosing my lot size, first I want to see, okay, what's the average stop loss placement for the 1 minute. Like I already did a lot of back testing with the 1 minute. So I'm like, okay, the average stop loss can be between 10 pips or it can be 15 pips. It just depends. But if I use this lot size on average, this is what's going to be the outcome. So I'm definitely lowering my lot size for sure. Damn near in half because I use like 60 lots with NAS 100. Now I'm only using 25 with US 30. So definitely in half because US 30 is just it's a different beast for sure.
Later on, when you get more comfortable, get used to the pair, maybe will you like then up the lots or
I
like
mean,
how's it
yeah,
looking?
yeah, I'm gonna be doing that for everything though. Like anything I'll be trading, I'm gonna up my lots eventually. But right now I'm just cool with where I'm at. But I will.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go to the next person. Do you still do aggressive entries? Yeah, I will. I will. Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I wanted to break down a trade on NAS today.
Okay. What time frame?
So it was a 15 5-minute and a 1 minute scale down zone. It was the one you called out
What day? What day was that?
today.
On NAS 100?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
oh, oh, you talking about this one right here. My fault, my fault. You talking about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one. Okay.
And had a 1 minute scale down as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know it was a loser, but I noticed that the 4 hour and the 1 hour were very high with gaps below, and they had not retraced on the higher time frames at the time the setup occurred. So my question is, when you see the 4 hour and the 1 hour are high with no pullbacks, are you still taking demand setups on the lower time frames, or are you passing up on the setup?
The thing about all-time highs with like indices in general is you don't really know when the pullback is going to come. You have to just look at market structure on a 5 minute and damn near the 1 minute. So like I knew we was at all-time highs on NAS 100,
Yeah.
but I'm still following my rules. But the
Okay,
thing
so
is, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you're not passing up on the setup, you're still taking it?
No, I'm still taking it. But if I'm looking at this trade, because I remember vividly waiting on this trade, but it just took too long for me to reach. But when it did reach, I went on a 1 minute. I didn't take it, but I'm looking at the 1 minute. And when I go to 1 minute, what do I see? I see lows constantly being broken. And I also see a supply zone that's holding on the 1 minute. Like the 1 minute is going to tell you what's really going on and if the trade is going to work out or not. We have a 1 minute supply right there after it taps our 1 minute for a buy. So if you enter a buy and we see that we just rejected twice right here, we should possibly be trying to cut the loss up in these two candles right there. These two candles, we probably should be trying to cut the loss because this candle right here is spiking extremely fast. And then we got a bearish engulfing, and they're still not breaking above this swing high. It's just saying that they don't want to hold.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to like
So
all time highs is always going to be a thing. We have to be super super careful all time highs because just because the demand zone is valid doesn't mean it's just going to hold. That's why timing is so important when it comes to our supply and demand setups. Like
yeah.
just the timing of it reaching was actually just not good. This is another 10:30 demand zone, and you already know after 10:30 volume get taken out, fake outs, reversals usually happen. So I'm not surprised that this didn't work out. Like
When it comes to the Nasdaq, that rule still applies? Because I know there's an afternoon session, and for my back testing, because I'm only trading Nas, for
Mhm.
my back testing, there's still volume after 10:30, at
Yeah.
least with the Nasdaq. So is that still a rule that applies
So
with the Nas?
it's like a little grace period. It's like a little pause and pausing period when it comes to indices. So like there is an afternoon session that do move. So around like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., that's when there's another session inside of New York session that's moving for indices. So but what I'm saying is around 11 o'clock noon, you really don't want to be trading. You want to just be done for the day or get ready for the next session for indices. But um that's pretty much what I would do if I was trading afternoon session. Literally just wait until after like 12 o'clock. I would say 2 o'clock. I'm being honest, probably like 2 or 3 o'clock, and then look for a setup just for indices only.
Okay.
Yep.
So just to kind of recap this, you would have taken the setup, but as soon as you saw it tap into the 1 minute supply, it would have given you that. You would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna close it.
So okay, so say if I did take this trade and we get in on a break of the candle and I put my stop loss at the bottom of the zone. Okay. That's 24 pips right there. And we'll be aiming for it 1 to 2. Now, if I'm in this trade and first I'm in profit, now I tap the supply zone, now it's rejecting, making a higher low. I may still hold, but as soon as we get up in this area, now it's time to probably try to cut this or do something because why are you just rejecting so strongly? And I'm looking at what just happened previously. So when I'm looking at the 1 minute, I'm just trying to see are they breaking our zones on the 1 minute? against us or they're holding. Because if they're holding against us, we are probably going to lose. So yeah, I'll just
Okay,
look at the
gotcha.
1 minute. I just look at the 1 minute to help me to see if it's worth holding.
So the 1 minute market structure also matters.
The zones matter because the market structure may not look beautiful. It may not even look like it's breaking structure. Where is the 1 minute zones? Because just because it's broke this structure doesn't mean it's going to always look like that. This could actually be like a double bottom at your 1 minute demand zone right there, and it looked like it's about to hold. No, is the zone holding? What is your supply zone or your demand zone on the 1 minute? Is it holding or not? Because that's the flow of the market. If they're bearish, if the bears are in, all suppliers are going to hold. If if the bulls are in it and there's buyers, then all the demands is going to hold on the 1 minute. Just like the trades that I lost last week on GU when we were selling, but all the 1 minute demands was just holding. That's the same thing. So you need to see if the zones are holding. It's not so much market structure because I don't even really trust market structure on the 1 minute because it just plays around a lot. You need to see if the zones are holding. If the zones is holding, you should definitely probably close if you're trading against it for sure.
Okay, bet. Gotcha.
Yes,
That's it.
sir.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's go to the next person. We have Zud right here.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo, what's good?
I have a question. Let's say you have a 5 minute demand, right? And then you
Mhm,
have then you have a 1 minute scaling.
mhm,
And before price touches your 1 minute scaling, price was throwing supplies to reach your 1 minute scalings,
mhm,
and all those supplies are holding upon reaching your candle break. And then when you get your candle break,
mhm.
are you gonna take that or no? Because will you be like iffy because you see them they are holding all the supply zones, or will you still take the break of the candle?
I'm still gonna take the break of the candle until I see that zones are being respected against me. So even if there are 1 minute supply zones that's coming into my 5 minute demand zone, even if there are those that's happening, I'm going to take the break of the candle on the 1 minute, put my stop loss in a nice area, and we're just going to see if the very next 1 minute supply zone hold. If it breaks, I like that. If it hold, I don't like that. I might have to close and look for something else or wait it out and see what they're going to give us. Because they may like give you a break of the candle, like the 1 minute supply, give you a break of the candle, and then reverse and go back up. So I just have to just see like how the candles are moving. But I'm not going to be afraid to hit the buy to go against the 1 minute supply. So
All right, cool. And then let's say when you scale down from the 5 minute to 1 minute, let's say the 1 minute candle is exactly the same as the 5 minute. Will you still take the break of the candle on the 1 minute? Because I know you said on the 15 minute, if it's the same candle on the 5 minute, then it's only a 15 minute setup. Like it's not a 5 minute since you couldn't
mhm,
scale it down.
mhm.
But let's say on the 5 minute you have a 1 minute scaling, but it's the same candle. How will you approach that?
Me personally, I'm gonna wait for the 15. I find that when I see a 5 minute setup and the 1 minute scale down is the same candle, I'm just not that confident with those. I see the ones that just win the most is when they are separate candles. When they are separate candles, like where the 1 minute candle is different from the 5 minute, those are the ones that just work the best with me. That's just off of just back testing just the history of just 5 minute, 1 minute. I see that worked better. So I'm going to just enter off of the 5 minute break kind of like regular. Like I'm expecting my 1 minute to look completely different from my 5 minute setups. So yeah, I'm just gonna enter the 5 minute break the candle for sure.
All right, cool. And last question. I've seen you this week. You have taken the 5 minute and 1 minute. Sometimes you put your stop loss on the wick, sometimes on the
Mhm,
5 minute zone. Like,
mhm.
is there a certain pip amount you look for, or like, what's the reason you switch between them?
It just depends because okay, so let's talk about the GU trade, the GU trade that we took on Tuesday. Because the GU trade on Tuesday, that I just know that stop loss was just too tight. Like it's just way too yeah, this trade right here. This trade right here. If I go back to it and fast forward, realistically, I know that having a 1 pip stop loss on GU, that's very, very, that's just not like it can happen. Don't get me wrong, you can have a 1 pip stop loss, but the precision behind that is just super rare. That just may not happen. So I'd rather be safe. And since I'm already doing fixed lot sizes, okay, a 1 pip one pip hit is damn near break even for me. So I'd rather be safe and let price play around. You don't want to have a too tight of a stop loss on a 1 minute. Like you really just don't. So it's all about where the break of the candle was happening. That's probably most important. Where is the break of the candle was happening? Because on US 30 today, the break of the candle was actually way above the 1 minute for people that took US 30 today. It was way above that demand zone. But this one is breaking inside of the zone on the 5 minute. So it's just like, okay, is it worth having a tight stop loss inside the zone, or just go ahead and just have a 3 pip stop loss above the zone? So it really just depends on where the 1 minute break of the candle is happening, and then you have to have your stop loss placed in a good area that's not gonna just stop you out and then go in your favor. Like, because spreads is gonna matter for people that still trading forex pairs and just forex in general. Spreads it can may knock you out. Like, and that's another reason why I don't really want to trade GJ like that. It's because spreads can knock you out of these 1 minute setups. So you got to be super careful. But yeah, the break of the candle is probably most important on the 1 minute for sure.
All right, thank you, man.
All right. Okay. Let me scroll up. Okay. All right, let's get to the next person.
What up?
Yo, what's good?
I got a couple setups for you to go over and then a few questions, but could you go to GU on Wednesday at 2:50 a.m.?
You said
Is when it-
GU on Wednesday at 2:50 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a supply.
Well, what did you take? Like
It tapped right at the break of the candle was at 2:55.
AM EST?
Yeah, on Wednesday.
255. Did you
It was
take,
a supply.
was it a
Pretty
5 minute?
sure.
Was it a 1 minute?
Yeah, it was a 5 minute. Oh yeah, I see it right there. So I was wondering, is both of those candles, is that considered uh a supply? Just
This is
because it
low.
was.
This
No. I had the second candle in there too. Those two dojis right there.
oh, you
Is
had it like
that
you had like that?
yeah?
Let me see what it looked like on a 1 minute. Let me see.
There. So that was kind of my question: is if you would have had your zone like that, or because I know the other candle would be low probability.
It didn't touch the 1 minute. So would I have done this? Let me see, because this okay, it didn't break this low right there. Um, I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest because let me see the EMAs. Was it? Oh no. I wouldn't have did it just off the EMAs. I don't trust it. But if you did mark it up like this is not wrong. But you definitely don't want to just combine two candles all the time. These are two good candles that you want to combine for sure because they are small and they're right next to each other, so it makes sense. Did you win on it or what did you?
Yeah, I took one position out at 1-1, and then I held into the EMA, and then I got out at 1-2. But
Okay.
I mean, overall, I didn't think it was the best setup
I mean, it's all
because the
right.
EMA.
Like, yeah. The only thing I just don't like is the EMAs. Like that. That's probably like the only thing I'd be like, all right, let's see what happens when they touch the 200 EMA. Like other than that, like this is like a valid setup. There is sellers coming out of this area, like aggressive selling. So it makes sense. I just don't like the EMAs for sure. And I wish it would have had a major break of structure. If it would have broke this low, that would have just been beautiful. But we already know how the market is. It's not going to give us the most beautiful setup. So I feel like if
Yeah.
you won on this, you did pretty good for sure.
All right, and then the second setup is also on GU. It was today. It tapped at 5:30, and I got an aggressive, so I took. I mean, once it hit my 1-1, I got out, but I was just wondering
5:30,
why it did. Yeah,
5:30 at
5:30
what time?
Eastern AM. My bad.
Okay, you took this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know this kind of trend, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It did. Is that a break of structure at all? I mean, I when I see break of structures, I'll go to like the line and I'll kind of just mark it up on there because I haven't really. I'm not too confident just looking at the candles and the breaks of structure. So I
This
mean,
so this right here, like for one, I'm probably not gonna take this just because we're going towards the 200, but also we just have an equal low right there, so it's not really a clear break of structure. Yes, we broke these lows right here. Let me take these EMAs off. Yeah, we
yeah,
broke those
that's
lows
what I
right
think I
there,
saw.
but this right there, that's actually important, and it literally just held right there at that whole that little rejection right there. It just held there the whole time. Let me look at the
Yep.
15 minute. Let me see what the 15 minute is looking like. Um, yeah, it just seemed like nah. Yeah, this nah. I wouldn't take this. Absolutely not. I wouldn't take it at all.
Okay.
Mm, mm.
And then
All right,
so and
we gotta
then
get some more people on. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to waste too much time. I only got 20 minutes.
all right. Well, yeah, that's fine. I'll
Okay,
be on the next webinar.
so if you got your question, just DM me and I'll get to you. Because I want to try to get to
Okay.
everybody. So
All right. Thank you.
yes, sir. All right, let's go to AP right here. Hello,
Yo, what up?
what's good?
Shit, another week, man. Hold up, let me shut out real quick. All
What?
right, I got I got set up on USD JPY Thursday
Yeah,
at 3 o'clock.
it's DJPY. You said
3 a.m. like 2:40 a.m. 3 a.m.
on what day?
Thursday. I was trying to see the quality of the set. I feel like it was a low probability. Just trying to double check. I drew out a demand zone.
Where did the man zone start?
Like 10, and I had drew it over, had that big gap on it, and then it filled it in on a 5 minute. It's a 5 minute gap. I mean, a 5 minute demand zone.
Are you talking about this demand zone right here? This is at 4 o'clock.
No, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the left.
This one?
Always go to the left a little bit more, a little bit more. All the way over to the left. It was one of them zones. It went all the way up, then it came down and filled it in. But the demand zone started yesterday at 10:10. It was one of those. So
Uh,
that went to the left right there.
so it's like
Oh,
so it's coming from Wednesday.
from the previous day.
Okay. Can you just send me the chart of it? Can you send me the chart of it? After this webinar, just send me the setup. I'm
Hold
not
on, it's
really.
right there. It said 10:10 Wednesday to the left, right there. That
You
one right
said when?
there.
Okay, 10/10 Wednesday. This right
Yeah,
here.
right there. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay. Let me see. Is this 15? Is this a 15 minute?
I gotta double check a little bit.
Nah.
No,
Not
yeah,
a,
it's not no 15, yeah. Because the 15 already tapped right there. It was really just a 5 minute, but I was trying to see the quality of it. I feel like that was kind of low probability, John.
So we don't want to take 5 minute setups alone. That's not recent. Like if I'm taking a 5 minute setup, that's just a simple 5 minute setup. I want the most recent. I damn near want to see it being created the same day. Like the setup that I took on US30 today. Like we saw that setup form and came back to it. We scaled down to the 1 minute. Boom, we took it. I
Yeah,
don't
because
want to. I don't want to take a 5 minute demand setup that's like too old and it's not like recent enough because the older the zone is and it's not coming from the higher time frame, they might not hold at that zone. So yeah, I try not to take these type of demand setups because they don't work that well.
Yeah, the thing is, I lost that one, and then I got stopped out, and then it created that zone you just looked at right there, and that was like a 1 minute liquidity grab, and then I had took that again. Like, what is that like a valid on to take that
Uh,
demand you were just looking at right there, or that's
th-
still kind of like a low probability one?
you talking about this one right here?
Yeah, I lost the first one, then I got in again because that created a 1 minute liquidity. If you scale it down right there,
No, I don't.
and
I
then
don't
this
do. I don't do liquidity grabs in a 1 minute. It's just too dangerous. It's too many fake outs. No, I don't do liquidity grabs in a 1 minute at all.
All right, cool.
That's all you have.
My next question. It was really for real. I know when you scale it down from the 5 minute to the 1 minute, you pretty much waiting for the 1 minute to tap with the gap or whatever. But sometimes it really don't tap right away. It would just tap the 5 minute. Then
Mhm.
sometimes it would tap the 5 minute, go up or go down, and then come back and then tap the 1 minute. Are you strictly waiting for the 1 minute to tap, or really just depend on like the structure being given? Because since you don't want to kind of like miss out on the setup from just waiting too long, then it just take off without you.
I'm mainly looking for the 5 minute and 1 minute. I prefer those. It's just more precise behind just a 5 minute setup. But say if they don't touch the 1 minute, I will take the 5 minute break of the candle for sure. I'll take it alone. But I'm accepting that this is not as quality as a 5 minute plus 1 minute. So whatever setup that I'm taking, I understand how quality it is. If it's not quality, then I might have to lower my risk, or I want to try to get in aggressive on this low quality setup so I can get in early. But other than that, like I prefer 5 minute plus 1 minute. They're just precise.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. All right. Greg right here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. It's not necessarily it's not a nothing on the chart. I had, and I don't know if you can answer this for me because I know you don't trade props, but if anybody in the group chat can answer this for me or put it in later, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
I had a prop challenge on the funded trader, which I know quite a few people in the chat use. They switching over to DX trade, and I cannot figure out how to convert it or get it to sign in on DX trade from MetaTrader. So if anybody, got the answer to that or that can help me out, I greatly appreciate that because I had $100,000 account and it's gonna be gone. So
Well, hold on. Well, what they doing over there? What they doing?
They switching. So if you got the funded trader, you can't use MetaTrader anymore. You have to switch over to this DX trade, which I don't even know how to use DX trade, but they're switching over
Interesting.
to that. I think I believe they say starting Monday.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Somebody said I can use MetaTrader 4 still. Well, I was using MetaTrader 5. Should I do MetaTrader 4?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. If anybody got any questions on DX Trade, DM me or put it in the trading chat room. If anybody know anything about DX Trade and help them out. I think a lot of prop firms are switching over to DX Trade if I'm not mistaken. I got to do more research, but I'm just not into the prop firm stuff. But yeah, definitely if y'all got any information on DX Trade, how he can get his account, please put it in the chat room or just DM me and then I'll DM him or however you want to do it. That's all you have, bro?
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know about the DX trade stuff. I've been seeing it on YouTube, but I don't know, bro. People saying it's a scam. People go switching to futures. Bro, you got to be careful, man. Like, there's a reason why Doyle was still educating himself on the beginner stuff. Like, I'm learning what contracts is and, what I'm saying, rollovers and stuff like that. Like, I'm learning that so I won't have to deal with stuff like this. Like, and I trade with an unregulated forex broker. So, like, I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking risks. So I feel like futures are just way more safer if people would just, you know what I'm saying? It's all on YouTube for free. You can literally just learn the basics of futures for free on YouTube. But yeah, let's get to the next person. Let's go to Thomas right here. Hello? Okay, I don't want to waste too much time as other people got questions. All right. I'm going to just go to the next person. Alex right here.
Hey, Doyle, what's up, man?
Yo, what's good?
So nothing to do with this chart, man. I know I'm glad you just touched on the futures thing. I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
Obviously, I think I got my answer that you're looking into futures right now because I just made the switch from Forex over to futures,
Mm-hmm.
and I opened up 10 Apex challenge accounts because I want to get some more funds from my personal account with futures. So my question is really how much have you dove into it? Do you think it's the future? And do you think your channel on Discord is going to have a little bit more? I know I saw you do have a section under education now that I think is active now, but what do you think about that, man?
I feel like Forex have become so popular that the government really just want to make sure people are not spending money with other countries. That's what I feel like is going on. I do feel like futures are the future for Americans. I feel like this is more so just to separate other countries from each other, even though like Forex is a global thing. It just they don't want nobody spending money with other countries. That's what I just really feel like. And I feel like futures is more so more of protection, but to put more money in the government's pocket too. So I just feel like being versatile is going to be the safest thing to do. That's why I'm diving into it. To answer your second question, how much have I dived into it? I just been watching like beginner videos on YouTube. Just trying to understand like, okay, what is a contract? Okay, what is this time? Okay, what is a rollover? Okay, what is a micro mini? How to count ticks? Like exactly like just the beginner stuff. But I'm definitely going to get further and further along every weekend. Every weekend, I'm just putting in more time in futures. I'm not trying to just jump into it and not be familiar with it or over leverage and I don't understand it. So I'm trying to understand it first. But then after that point, then I'm probably gonna go in like more intense into futures. I don't know yet, but I'm definitely still learning. So I'm at the beginning stage right now. I'm like a an experienced trader that's just learning a brand new industry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Forex is all I know. Like I've been doing Forex for a while, but futures is something that I've never dived into. But I feel like it's the time just because of all the broker issues, the prop firm switching over, people not getting paid out. Like it's just a lot going on in the industry. So I just feel like futures will. I'm protecting myself by learning futures. So I recommend people to learn the basics because it's damn near the same thing, and you have zero spread. The only issue about futures for me is just the monthly fees. I feel like prop firms are scamming people with these monthly fees. Why do I have to pay a monthly fee? That's the only thing I feel like is just annoying in my opinion, but it's still just a safer route. So yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I've been dabbling with these 10 accounts that I got, and I learned real quick how to do ticks and figure out leverage and risk management and all that stuff, and it's really easy now, man. But the paying of the monthly, just to give you a little insight, with Apex, you could either pay $80 a month for a 50K account or a one-time lifetime fee of 140 per account.
Okay.
So if you want to pay the 140, be done with it, that account is now yours, right?
Okay.
And with 10 accounts, you make $130 a day on 10 accounts. That's 1,300 a day, 20 times 20 days in a month.
Right.
I mean, it's very, very easy. And you don't have to go for 40 pips like Forex, man. You go for 10 pips on 2 contracts. There's your $200 right there.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I made the switch, man. I think it's a good call. Just to have something else on the tool belt because, like you said, man, Uncle Sam wants his money, bro, and you never know what's gonna happen, dude, with these prop firms in America.
No, facts, bro. Facts. That's all you had. You had another question?
No, that was it, man. I appreciate your time, bro.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to the next person. No, definitely look into futures, man. I'm trying to tell you, you won't have to deal with no broker, no prop firm issues, none of that. And wire transfers, ACH is like getting sent right to your bank account. We're not dealing with none of this other BS is going on. Hello?
Yo, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. It was good.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I had a setup the other day. I don't even have it in front of me, but there was a 15-minute demand zone with a gap, and then there was when you scaled it down to the 5 minute, the 5 minute did not have a gap. But when you scaled it down to the 1 minute, the 1 minute did have a gap. So my question to you is, would you take that off of the 1 minute, even though the 5 minute didn't have a gap?
So this is a 15-minute setup, correct? This is a 15-minute
Exactly.
setup. And I can scale down to the 1 minute, but not the 5 minute.
Right.
I would take it. I'll take
Copy
it.
that. That's all I had.
Okay. So yeah, I'll take it for sure. So like you can find like, okay, this is just like, okay, a 1 hour demand zone, but you can't scale down on the 15-minute, but you can scale down on the 5 minute. That's essentially the same thing. You mainly looking at 3 time frames. So it'd be like the 15-minute, 5 minute, 1 minute, or the 1 hour, 15-minute, 5 minute. Like those 3 time frames, we really want those to be in favor. Like I noticed like most of our wins is based off of 2 time frames going in one direction. We can get one direction right far as like one time frame, just a simple 5 minute setup. We can win on those, but when we got 2 time frames going in the same direction, they go further, and it's just the proof in the pudding. Like we don't really have to explain that. But all right, let's go to the next person. We got Tony right here.
Hey, yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what's good?
So my question is, it's not about anything about the charts, but I want to talk about taxes right quick.
Okay.
For something that I've read was that futures taxes is supposed to be around 40%. I was in a trading chat the other day and I was talking to somebody about that. And he kind of like brought that, across to like brought it to my attention. So with you trading, with you like going from Forex to futures, how do you feel about that 40% tax? Like, what's your take on it?
That is a lot. I'm gonna be honest, that is a lot. I feel like I'm already paying a lot of taxes right now, if I'm being honest. But I gotta talk to my accountant because my accountant, he sees everything. So, it's good to have a relationship with your accountant so he can be honest with you and find ways to save money in taxes. But if I tell him that if I'm switching to futures and they're taking 40% off of profits, I feel like he's going to find a way for me to get some type of tax write-off, whether I have to do something to save money in paying taxes. So I don't really know how I feel about the 40%, but I'm going to talk to him and see what he recommends. And if it makes sense to me, then I would just agree with whatever he recommends. But yeah, I don't know yet. We gonna see. Because I just paid taxes for last year. So if I start trading futures this year, then next year I have to pay taxes for all the futures profits. And that may be a little bit different than you know what I'm saying, than what I paid last year. So we're gonna see. I gotta talk to him though.
Got you. I appreciate that. That's all I had.
All right. Some people saying that's not true. That don't sound accurate. I don't know. I don't know what group she was in. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm not sure. But I mean, if it's true, do we even have a choice? Let me try Thomas real quick before I wrap this webinar up.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's good?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
All right. So I had a trade I wanted to go over that I took today.
Okay.
It was on crude oil at 9 or 8:50 in the morning today on the 15-minute.
Which one do you use?
I trade crude oil futures, but you could just use like
see,
it's a light crude oil futures, CL1. CL1.
CL1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Or go to just CL.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it was at 8:50.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw people taking that. This is clean, man.
Yeah.
It's clean.
So there was a supply zone made at 6:50 in the morning, and then I took it at 8:45. And if you look on the 5-minute, there was a 5-minute supply zone that tapped in as well in the 15-minute.
So is this a 15-minute supply zone, or is this just a 5-minute? This is a 5-minute?
Well, it's a 15-minute, but that 5-minute is in the 15-minute.
Oh, okay. So this is
Yeah.
just a regular 15-minute zone, and you scaled it down to The 5 minutes. So you took this trade, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I got out early because I made my profit for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I made a 2-to-1, but I could have made a 9-to-1.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm not mad about that. I took profit today. But so I know you take your entries at break of candle, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the 5 minute, if you have an aggressive entry like right at the supply zone, it's a 9-to-1 when you go to the next 5 minute demand zone. But if you take the break of candle, it becomes like a 2-to-1. So how do you know when to be aggressive or when to just take a break of candle entry?
Based off of the reaction at the zone. So if this is a 15-minute supply zone and I scale down to the 5 minute, and that's the same thing as the 5 and the 1 minute, it's damn near the same thing. I'm just looking at what is happening at the 5 minute zone. Okay, like what is telling me to sell? Okay, we're going away from 200 EMA. They actually start to leave the area. So if you want to get in aggressive, I'm not saying just hit sell right there at the zone. Maybe get in aggressive at this point and then put your stop loss up here, because we don't even know if they're going to hold or not. When people get in aggressive, you got to understand that this is trying to predict that they're going to hold. That's basically what you're doing. When you get in aggressive, you're predicting that they're going to respect your entry and that they're going to respect the zone. So the break of candle is just confirmation. That's really just like, okay, now they're going in that favor, then I'm gonna get in. But getting aggressive, it is a risk behind it. So all you can really base it off of is what is the confluences that's telling you to sell? The confluences is a breakup structure. Okay, we got a breakup structure. This is a 15-minute, 5-minute supply setup. Okay, cool. That's actually a quality setup. 200 EMA is above. Okay, cool. Let's look at the other time frames. What do the other time frames look like before it even touch this zone? Let's go to the 1 hour. What do the 1 hour look like? We just broke a major low actually off the 1 hour. So that's actually a good thing. Like this is a pivotal swing right there. So that's pretty good. Let me go to the 4 hour. If I go to the 4 hour, we got resistance at the top. It's not really a lot of information. It's still like an overall bullish environment, if I'm being honest. And it's coming from a 4 hour demand zone. So all I really can base it off of is market structure being broken off the 15-minute and 5-minute. That's pretty much it. So getting in aggressive, like you got to just accept the risk. That's why when I send out my trades, I'll be like, high risk entries are aggressive. Like they are like super high risk because you're predicting, you're not moving with the market. You're just hitting sell and we're gonna win. Like it's very dangerous to get aggressive. So yeah, I mean, I already have webinars on what I look for when I'm trying to look at aggressive entries or just wait for the break of the candle. But it's mainly just a reaction at the zone. That's number one for sure. I need to see some type of wick rejection. And another thing that makes me want to hold my trades or even take the trades is that no candles close inside of the zone. I talked about that weeks ago in the webinars, where if they close inside of the zone, that decreases the chances of it holding. But if no candles close inside of the zone and they start breaking the candles lows on your supply, then that should be more confirmation for you to enter the trade as well. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. Thank you, though.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I saw some of y'all taking this oil trade. I'm like, man, this is some good stuff right here. This is some good stuff for sure. For sure. I don't trade oil, so yeah, good luck with that. But any last questions before we look at next week news and get ready for next week? I heard oil is lit though. I'm gonna be honest. I have heard oil is very good with supply and demand, scaled down zones. Y'all see this is a 15-minute, 5-minute. Did you try back testing on the 5-minute, 1-minute on Forex at all? Yeah. What? Listen, man. Euro USD 5-minute, 1-minute, it works. It literally works. But the key is timing. You don't want to use this strategy any time of the day. If it's not happening during London session or New York session, you need to be out of the market. Like this is only 2 sessions. That's it. If you want to stick with Forex. And the same thing for GJ. Like if you trade GJ, New York session, London session only, we not touching Asian session. It's over with. All right. I'm still between Top Step and Apex. I like that 90% sell. Any drawbacks to that sell? Okay. They talking about prop firms. All right, let's look at next week. I'm excited, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This 5-minute, 1-minute stuff. Listen, I'm excited. That's all I can say. All right, next week, we got news at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Okay, so y'all notice how yesterday was a lot of news? Like it was a lot of news. It was damn near untradeable yesterday. Thursday, it was like, bro, what the hell is going on? Like it's just a lot of news. So when we do have a lot of news, whether it's NFP week or not, it doesn't matter. We gotta try our best to not rush the gun to take a setup before news or make sure we get out of the trade way before news. Because some people are like, you know what, I'm just gonna just pray and hope that this news going in my favor. The news is unpredictable. We really don't know. I mean, you can do all your analyze fundamentals all you want to, but at the end of the day, they can do whatever they want to do, and they blame everything on news. So that's why I try to stay away from it. Now, with some people that's experienced in a group that still trade news, you're doing your own thing. Me, I'm not doing that at all. So Wednesday, you already know. Oh, I thought next week was NFP week. It's actually not. Next week is not NFP week. So we got news at 10 o'clock on Friday. Thursday, we got news at 8:30. And Tuesday, we got news at 10. So 10 o'clock. Monday, no news. Thursday, 8:30. Friday, 10 o'clock. So yeah. So make sure if y'all waking up in the morning to watch the live trading with Abdul, make sure you wake up around like 8 o'clock, 8:30. Don't wake up at 7:30 because he's not starting until 9 o'clock a.m. I'm still gonna be trading the same thing I'm trading next week. I'm still not trading GJ. I'm gonna be trading GU, US 30, and NAS 100. Those are the only three I'm looking at. Of course, I'm gonna look at other charts that people send it to me in the morning, but I'm mainly focusing on those three. So let me put myself back on. Let me show my face before I get off of this. Okay. Show my face before I get off this. Now, after this webinar, I'm gonna upload the live trading video. When the YouTube video coming, I'm not posting the live trading video on YouTube. I'm gonna post it here so people can watch it just for here only. I might make another video for YouTube. But so after this webinar, I'm gonna post the live trading video so everybody can see exactly how I executed it. Whoop-de-whoop, see how I managed the trade, how I set in the drawdown. But I'm expecting people to start going crazier, especially since we're using a 1 minute chart. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to see people getting way crazier payouts. I am gonna post a crazy result tomorrow because this lady is from London and she's in a group and she doesn't say a word, but she's going crazy. So I'm gonna post her results, and it's super motivational because she don't say anything. She just watch the video, do the homework, and she's going crazy. She don't even say nothing in the chat. So I feel like me posting that is going to just give people more motivation to be like, okay, this shit is possible. I can do this. And no matter what's going on in the industry, it's possible to make money consistently in the market. So that's all I got, man. Monday, we back at it. Homework. Hopefully people turn in homework. If you're not turning in homework and you ask me a million questions, why? I'm not trying to be like a teacher, but I'm just like, watch the videos. The webinars is the sauce. I will not cap. Like, it is the sauce. There's another reason why I didn't want to show YouTube, because everybody, as soon as I start doing it, now everybody doing it. So no, we're just gonna keep it in-house, gonna keep it here, and we're just gonna just add to what we're already doing. I feel like I have something else to say. I don't know. But all right, man. I'll see y'all in the chat Monday. Let's keep it going. Bro, I'm excited, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just excited. I'll see y'all in the chat Monday. Make sure y'all turn the homework if you're new. If you're new, do the homework, bro. For real. All right, peace. Have a good weekend. I'm out.